What's up guys, my name is Emma and I am queer. Yes, I put a plaid shirt on just for this video. It's Pride Month and I always get 1,000 times more gay during Pride Month, much like all of the stores and just everything, the workplace, everything. Just suddenly rainbows appear everywhere and I soak it all up and just become more, progressively more gay as the month goes on. So for a really long time, I have wanted to make a video and talk about my sexuality and my experiences, how I came to be here and how I identify and all this good stuff, because it's good to talk about it. I've never done it here before. I think probably nobody cares how I identify, but nobody knows. So I'm going to tell you anyway because it's Pride and that's what we do. I think the best way to explain my sexuality is to tell you the story from small me to now. It's probably not that exciting. It's not that long, so strap in and don't worry about it. As a kid, I knew that I liked boys. Boys were cute, I had crushes on boys in my class, all the normal school shit, the cute boys in the TV, whatever. I knew that I liked boys. The confusion came with my fascination with girls. But I didn't really think that was a thing until I was, I guess, a teenager. Looking back, I did have a weirdly bordering on unhealthy obsession with Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. And I knew that I loved her. And I knew that I loved the fact that she had huge boobs. But I guess I just didn't really think about why. I just sort of, you know, thought she was amazing. I kind of wanted to be her. I kind of, as I got older, wanted to be with her. But at the time, I suppose I just thought I wanted to be her and that, you know, it would be nice to be a really attractive, cool archaeologist type with guns and huge boobs. I'm not sure if this is an accurate time frame because this is just me looking back and remembering, and things always seem longer when you try to remember back. But I reckon I wasted a good 2, maybe 3 years of my life secretly looking at ladies on the internet. The entire time I had this idea in my head, this predisposition that was like, I don't really find them attractive though. I'm like tricking myself so that I can trick other people to do it for attention because it's a fad. That's what everyone was kind of saying at this time. It's amazing because it wasn't that long ago. But I swear to God, at the time we were still saying, oh, that's gay, and it wasn't, it was like, oh, the gays are on TV all the time, and that's what everyone was saying, and I thought, well, it's a fad, and that's what certain family members of mine would say, and I thought, I'm clearly just doing this for attention. It's not a real feeling. Even though I never told anyone, it was just me on my laptop in the dark, evening after evening. This was all fine and dandy until I turned, I think 16. I think I was 16 and then I got my first girlfriend. There was a girl that I met on the internet because we both liked Glee who wanted to be my girlfriend. And I was like, I feel really happy and positive about this. I want to be with this human. I must be a lesbian. So I came out as a lesbian at school and to my friends. I came out at school. I came out at my drama group. I told my friends. I didn't tell any of my family. I wasn't quite on that level yet. But I just came out to my friends and then other people, because school is school. I think it might have been college actually at this point. Other people would ask me and I'd be like, yeah, I got a girlfriend. Because I was 16 and all we did was speak on the phone, it did not last, obviously, much to my disappointment. So that ended, and then I had to go back to being, you know, single, and I was still attracted to boys. And I thought, oh my God, am I gonna have to like reverse come out? Am I gonna have to come back out as straight? Am I straight again now? Is that how it works? Because as insane as it seems now, looking back, in, you know, 2019, at that point, I had no idea that it was possible to like more than one gender. I thought there were 2 genders and I thought you could like one of them and that thems were the rules. I guess, I don't know, I guess maybe I thought that you had to pick one at a time so that I would by default go back to liking boys, and then if another girl came along, maybe I could like her, or maybe, you know, because that relationship worked out, it just proved that I wasn't gay, and so I should just forget that and ignore that and date boys instead. I don't know what I was thinking. It doesn't make any sense looking back. I was an idiot. I was an idiot and I didn't have the education that a lot of kids get now, which is great, and we need that more, otherwise you have this. I'm gonna be a combination of lame and cliche, and I'm going to tell you a super secret fact that you mustn't repeat to anyone, which is that Glee changed my life. Genuinely, I know how it sounds. I didn't know that you could be bi until they had a character on the show who was bisexual, a bisexual woman, and I was like, that's a what? Oh my! And I was so liberated, and the world opened up to me, and I thought, oh my god, this is everything. I have a thing. There's other people. This is a real. I'm not all this time the secret internet looking. It's real. It's a thing. I can like both. It's allowed. So that's a really elaborate way of saying eventually I realised that you could be bisexual, and so that's what I identified as. And then I went away to uni and my entire mind exploded and I opened up to the world, and I learned that gender binary isn't really what is that anyway? And I met and befriended and had crushes on non-binary people and trans people and there's a whole, it's not, okay, so you're with me because you've probably been on this journey of discovery at some point in your life. If you're an adult now watching this, at some point you have learned all that as well. Or maybe this is the first time you've ever heard this and you're about to go Google it and have this experience like right now, which is really exciting, by the way. Long story short, I was on the internet, specifically Tumblr a lot, at this point in my life. This was not a good point in my life, but that's unrelated, so don't worry about that. I felt like bisexuality didn't really encompass what I was about. I learnt the term pansexual, which is basically where you... Let me look up an actual definition, because then I'll sound more intelligent. My understanding of it and my relation to it is that you are just attracted to people regardless of gender. Like, that doesn't factor into your attraction to different people. That's how I see it. Let me look up a definition from the internet and prove myself wrong. Here we go, here's the definition. Not limited in sexual choice with regard to biological sex, gender, or gender identity. Which is pretty much what I said. It just sounds smarter coming from the internet. So I felt like that was a much better fit for me, and that was what I identified with, and I was happy with it. And then I learned that infighting can be a thing in the LGBT community. There was just a whole portion of the queer community that I could see just destroying itself, just eating itself over the semantics of which word you should choose and what bisexuality actually meant and how that was impacted by the no gender binary. And it doesn't mean this, you using that identity insults us, and you using that, and it blew my mind and upset me, and I didn't want to offend anyone with, just because that's not the point. The point was just to have something to identify with. That's the whole point, right? Of having a word. I mean, that's all it boils down to, is a word. And so I got to the point where I had dated enough and learned enough that I was totally comfortable, or I am totally comfortable knowing who I'm attracted to, and therefore don't need the term anymore. Which is why probably it's more of a mystery as to how I identify, because I don't really like... If asked, I would say pansexual. What I choose to put out into the world is queer, because I find that a nice umbrella term. It doesn't explain it, it puts me out there as part of the queer community, and I can feel involved in that way, but there's no chance of somebody being angry about it. Although, a lot of people do misunderstand what it means, which is sad. Especially on dating apps. You wouldn't believe the amount of messages I get from men that see queer and say, I know you're not interested in men, but I had to message you anyway. What? What does that mean? So that's me. I'm queer. Hi. And that's it. I got to a point in my life where I thought, I know who I am and I don't need words for it anymore. But if you want to know the words, here they are. Queer, pansexual, whatever. Talking to a particular audience, it can be easier to say bisexual because people know what that means and you just want to move the conversation on, and I think that that's fine. I think that saying that is fine. I think that not explaining your sexuality at all is fine. I don't think anybody owes anyone anything, and I think that's the most important thing for me. I think above all else, if you're comfortable with yourself, the rest of it just falls away. and it doesn't matter what other people think, and people can misconstrue things and make assumptions, and it will just bounce off you like water off a duck's back because you're comfortable with yourself. And sometimes you need to let it go, and sometimes you have an opportunity to educate. So that's my story, my very brief and not very interesting story. I just wanted to share it because I haven't done before, which is crazy because it's not a big deal, and I act super gay, and like, no, everybody knows there's something, right? Like, everybody looks at me and is like, there's something not straight happening there. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of weird insight. I just wanted to share for the sake of pride, for the sake of not having shared before, in case anyone was wondering. I will very, very happily answer any questions you may have. Maybe you have a question that I can't answer and I can go and learn something. Maybe you want to share your identity with me. If you want some advice, I came out to my mum like a year ago. So like this, you know, I'm fresh. I'm fresh-faced into the world of coming out, if you want some tips there. Here's a fun bonus fact. I came out to my mum in the cinema waiting for Despicable Me 3. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. I've had too much coffee. Thank you so much for watching. Please, please, please share your stories with me if you would like to. Ask questions, whatever, anything you like. I am an open book. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Happy Pride Month. Goodbye.